Hi, Minesh Baxi here, and the author as well as podcast host here of Positive Parenting. And my goal is to bring you guidance, awareness that you may not have. And there are other parents who have some tips, techniques, challenges maybe they've gone through that you can learn from. So here is my good friend Michelle Hoffmann, somebody who's smiling all the time, and here to provide you some very, very practical tips. Michelle, how are you today?
I am so excited to be here because one, I just got a message from one of my clients, and she has found the right partner for her. She sent me a picture, and they are perfectly matched. Can't wait to see how they enjoy the right love in their lives.
Well, it's pretty gratifying. And I can tell you that obviously they needed whatever support they needed to get to where they are today. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Minesh Baxi. I'm a speaker, author, and business coach. But the best part is I've been a homeschooling dad. My daughter is 22, my son is 18. They've also been TEDx speakers. I'm a TEDx speaker as well. And Michelle is an author. I met her at Podfest Expo, and her energy and enthusiasm just brought me to her. My son loved her energy as well. So let's to learn a little bit about you. Tell people who you are, what you do.
Well, imagine a world where relationships are easy and you know how to invite the right people closer to you and you know how to distance yourself from the wrong ones. So I am your relationship coach. I'm Michelle Hoffman, speaker, author, international uh, best-selling author, and people reach out to me to help them learn the relationshiping skills to navigate the right relationships in their lives, professionally, personally, and the intimate ones.
Very good point. Very good point. Now, you obviously have parents. Do you want to tell a little bit about your own journey as a parent as well?
As a parent, yep, sure. I feel very fortunate because my husband and we waited until we decided we were ready to have parents. And that's not always the case for people. We were watching a television ad and it had a baby on a tire, and we both looked at each other and we were like, are we ready to have kids? Yeah, 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 okay. And that was kind of it. It was like, we've both arrived at this at the same point. Now I realize relationships are not always aligned so beautifully like that. I believe that all relationships follow the same cycle from chemistry to casual to committed. And we up-level relationships through communication, shared experience, and that develops respect over time, building trust. So that's kind of my framework for how relationships work. So both of our children were invited purposefully into this world with parents who were ready to welcome them. Not, we didn't have the education for parenting necessarily. We not didn't necessarily have an incredible support group or the finances or anything like that. But we both went into it with the intention of creating a family that we together we would partner on all things. Our communication was good. We had already aligned ourselves. So welcoming someone in was a way for us to enhance our whole experience by inviting someone in. And our first child was a son. And then when our son turned 1, my husband said, "Oh, go play with your little sister." "Oh, you don't have one." "I'll make you one." And he did. So, yeah, really, really wonderful way to develop a family. And I realize that's not always the way that things are planned out like that. And there's no straight lines in life. Um, and the challenge that I was that together we had made this decision to welcome children into the world. What I did not anticipate was that he was going to die. And that left me head of household, sole parent, and single. And I made the conscious decision that I would continue on with the commitments at the level that I could possibly could that we had made to the children. So that brings us to parent-child relationships, in this case, where I am the parent and I didn't have my co-partner. So how do you deal with adversity and build resilience in such a way that it will rise not only you up, but everyone up along the way? And that's what I help people understand through, I mean, what I realized was I needed to write the book I did not have. And Life Worth Living was the guide that I wrote for that book. Um, and then what I didn't anticipate was that people were going to reach out to me from all over the world to help them through it. And I have a couple of things that you do naturally that you think everyone does them. But in fact, this might be your superpower. And I'd love to share some of these relationshiping skills as a parent that really helped me find calm, find center when I understood where my children were at developmentally. It helped me understand that they weren't saying and doing things to actually harm or offend me. They were individuating, and there are standard developmental stages through life, and understanding where they're at. And then it helps you regulate where you're at so that you can actually be the parent you'd like to be for your children.
Very good point. And I know you have a lot to contribute there with your personal experience, all the trips, tips, tips, tricks, techniques that you have, and you shared with me as well. I was tripping up on those words there. So anyway, and I think the ones that you mentioned to me specifically can apply to any individual. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not just in parenting. And the part that I think personally, as you know, I'm 63, so I'm a little bit further down the road than most people are, and have seen life differently. I've been married for 34 years with Kim. We have two kids and seen different experiences in life. And I think most of us are not going through life maturing enough to understand what is actually happening. What do we need at that time? And how can somebody else help us? We are not as aware as we need. And I think what you're teaching can be very helpful. So go ahead and share a couple of those things that you shared with me, which were very powerful.
Thank you. Sure, I'd be happy to. So, to the point that you're making, if you want to learn a new skill, you go and you find someone who can teach you or a mentor. If you'd like to learn a new sport, you hire a coach. And the parenting, there's no manual for this. And I think that you and I are probably doing our best to write them to help people understand. But it's also, what do you bring to the table? How much energy do you have in that moment? What have you been going through that day? What bandwidth do you have? So I'd love to share some of the things that when the children were young, especially, and this came up because we in our family needed to share very difficult news. Um, and so I needed to come up with a way that created space in our regular routine that invited in an opportunity and an opportune time to share emotions and to talk about what was really going on in our family, in our case, through the illness and loss of my husband and their father. So we came up with, well, a game, I guess we could call it, that we call Sad, Mad, Glad. Now, there are some really wonderful things about this, and I will tell you how to play the game, and then I will tell you when we play it, which is you can play it anytime, but there was a really good reason that we chose the how and when we chose to play this game. So Sad, Mad, Glad is a very easy game to play, and all you need to do is ask, did anything make you sad today? And then let your child, your partner, your friend, whoever you're talking with, answer the question. Now, the hard part is not responding, right? So let them talk. And when they're done talking, and you can say, is there anything else? Did anything make you sad today? Did anything make you glad today? And then hold space for them to share without you contributing in any way. Did anything make you sad today? Did anything make you glad today? Did anything make you mad today? You can do them in any order, but we tried to be consistent in the order. So we call it sad, mad, glad. And then let your child ask you the same questions. Now it's your time. Wow, it made me so sad when I saw that you and your sister were in conflict. And it made me mad that I didn't know what to do about it when they asked that question. But it made me glad when you're answering this question that the two of you were able to navigate it and work it through together. And I'm really proud of you for that. So you see that you will have an opportunity to show your morals, your values, your guidelines. But really, it's about what was giving them an opportunity to hear how your day went also, because then it gives them a chance to see you as a person. It gives them an appropriate time to share what's going on with them. And when we did this, we would do this just before bedtime. And any good parent knows that the kids don't really want to go to bed. So the way to avoid going to sleep was to tell lots about whatever made them sad today, whatever made them mad today, whatever made them glad today. And that's a really good way to open up a routine time and place to share what's going on. And this became key when there was something going on at school that my son may not have mentioned to us, but because there was an appropriate place and time to share that, he did. And then we gave him the opportunity to invite us in to participate or not. And that actually leads us very smoothly into the next one of the most valuable tools that I use even with my clients. And this is to offer, would you like us to listen, guide, or help? Now, sad, mad, glad is good at any age. You can, even when they're very young, you can start using sad, mad, glad. When your children become a little bit more sophisticated and they're starting to individuate and identify as their own person, and they might be trying new things or lashing out just to see what the response might be, or if they just can't navigate something that they're facing and it feels like an out of control situation for them, because if we don't know how to deal with something, we may not act appropriately because we just don't know how to express ourselves. So to gain control in an out of control situation, I immediately implement the next tool. And that is offering, would you like me to listen, guide, or help? As a parent, what a gift to one, give some control in what felt like an out of control situation for someone. Literally, the neuroscience behind that. If you're feeling out of control, your amygdala, your caveman brain, the part of your brain that's looking for danger constantly to keep you safe, is totally lit up. And when you're invited to make a choice, that shifts where your brain is lit up to your prefrontal decision making, frontal cortex, prefrontal cortex. So even the simplest of decisions, would you like to sit down or stand up? In this case, would you like to me to listen, guide, or help? What you're doing is saying, I will remain steady. I will be here for you. I'm not intervening, and I'm giving you some influence and power and control over a situation which you are not yet in control of. So merely asking the question helps to reduce the inflammation of the situation and invite them in. Now, it's important that they know how this game goes before they start. So, if they say, yeah, I would just like you to listen, here's the beauty. And you probably know this if you've got a friend or someone who will hold space for you to slow your thoughts down enough to be able to articulate them into complete sentences, give you the vibration, the thought of, and when you get it out of you, sometimes that's all you need is to talk it out and go, thank you. I know what to do. I can find focus in chaos. Now, the challenge, of course, for the parent in this situation is to zip it. If they ask to listen, you can show good listening skills by nodding or saying, that sounds really hard. You're doing that for me now. Thank you, Minesh. But just stop there because that's all they've asked you to do. And if you've got a preteen or a teenager, please don't do more than what they've asked of you. That's your gift. I promise it won't be like this forever if you can just hold the course. Now, you can invite them. Would you like me to upgrade to guide? So listen, guide, or help. And if they say yes, I would like you to guide me. Thank them. Thank them for being open to hearing. Again, this is your opportunity to share your values, your moral compass. And so thank them for letting you share your thoughts and ideas with them. Then you're allowed to say, well, given the situation, here's what I might do. Here's what I think you might consider. And then you finish guide with, and I know you're going to do what's right for you. Thank you for letting me share my thoughts on the matter. Because that inspires them. They now have an idea of what to do to go forward in a safe way that will hopefully give them the best outcome that they're hoping for. But they're going to make decisions for themselves. So rather than rebelling against you, they've invited you in to share their ideas and perspective. And you know, at some point, even if it's not on that day, they're going to move forward and make decisions for themselves. So thank them for listening to your guidance. And if they would like to up level to help, and I'll tell you, this happens very rarely once you've got the other two in place. Help in my mind means I'm actually going to get involved and participate in bringing the solution to you. So if you need a parent to step in, that's when you're going to ask for help. But by this point, in would you like me to listen, guide, or help? More often than not, your children will know what they should do, and then they'll make the decisions that are right for them because they know all of the circumstances that are at stake. So they'll do what's right for them. So there's sad, mad, glad. And would you like me to listen, guide, or help?
Wow, that was a clinic by itself. My goodness. I will tell you that was unbelievable. For those who are watching, listening, I will tell you, you should hire Michelle to teach more people how articulate she is, how easily she communicates concepts which are not easy if you look at it, because people are not always willing to tell you their emotional situation, right? People are not always going to be saying, hey, what I need from you. But now you have a very specific system, a process that you can follow, and Michelle is guiding you through it. So if you're somebody who is looking for those tips and ideas, but also practical in applying it today in any situation, Michelle has some great stuff to offer you. So Michelle, thank you. I know people got a treat just by listening here today.
Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. We want to help because parenting is the greatest gift that
Uh-huh.
you could have by living the world through your children's eyes and by sharing the experience with them. And it is the greatest challenge because your children know you better than anyone else, and they will challenge you. And that's what makes life interesting.
Totally. I think God gave us the role of a parent to at least have some understanding of what he has to go through, right? Because
The
when you think of it like
humility
that,
of it all. And the pride
and the
because
pride. I
yeah,
agree with you. I'm very proud of my children. I'm really glad that they have turned out the way it is.
yeah,
And for me
likewise.
personally, nothing has been more important than parenting. And I look at my
Absolutely.
role and I look at what they are becoming, and I'm so blessed. I really am so blessed. So, how can people get hold of you, Michelle?
All you need to do if you'd like to learn more or see how I can help you is go to theartofrelationshipping.com. At theartofrelationshipping.com, just click on the golden button and schedule some time with me. I'd be happy to help share relationshipping skills with you because life is better with good love in it.
Absolutely. Well, folks, you got some great treat there. Take advantage of it, go apply it, and I would love to hear if you have any feedbacks. Like, yeah, I tried the sad, mad, glad trick. I'm going to incorporate this on a daily basis for me because I realize that this is going to help people become more aware of their emotions, but also it creates clarity in communication. It's like, I don't know what you're going through, and I'm trying to guess what's going through with you. And then if I just say, hey, was there anything that made you sad, mad, or glad? Now at least they have a context. And now I have a context to listen as well. So that was definitely a positive. So thanks, folks, for watching. See you soon.